Hey, just wanted to share the latest project from my sewing room, and it was a skirt alteration. So my daughter came home for Christmas and brought me a skirt that she picked up at a thrift store. And of course, she didn't try it on. She thought, oh, it looks like it'll fit. Well, it was a little tight. It was really tight in the waist. She's like, I can wear it if I don't eat, which is never a good fashion choice. And then it was a little snug through the rear area. We like to wear things a little loose, not like skin tight. So she asked me if I could fix it. And I was like, yeah. So we looked at it together because she knows how to sew. I taught her that, and she does pretty good. But for some reason, she didn't want to attempt this. I don't know if she just thought it was boring or if she didn't know what to do. But first thing I thought for the waist, to make the waist bigger, oh, that's easy. It's got darts. We just let out a couple darts. And then the sides, to let it out in the rear, I was like, oh, we'll just open up the side seams. Flip it inside out and realize that someone has already let out the side seams. So that's not an option. There's no extra room there. Well, I thought, well, we could just take out, there's a seam down the back where the zipper is. I thought we could just take that out. I mean, it makes it, usually you want the back piece to be the same as the front piece. And if you do that, then the back's bigger, but hey. So I thought, we'll just let out the back seam. Well, somebody cut a notch partway down the back seam. This skirt has a history, and I'm a little confused. I don't know why there's stitching down there and somebody cut a notch. Unless the zipper was way longer originally or there was a slit, but still, I don't know why you would cut out some of the seam allowance in that area. So I'm perplexed by that. But that means I can't just take out that seam all the way down. I did figure out, though, why the waist was too tight, but she could still zip it up, because that didn't make sense either. I have all these conundrums running through my head. So the zipper goes up, and then usually when you hook it, it's the same as the zipper, the distance at the top of the zipper, top of the skirt, same. Well, they had cinched that tighter when they put the hook and loop on. So the zipper went up, but then it actually kind of overlapped when they did the hook and eye. So it must have been too loose at the waist, and that was their solution. So I was like, oh, that's easy. All I need to do is put the hook and eye probably where they should be, where they were originally, and we're fine. But that still doesn't solve the problem of it being a little tight through the rear. So what I finally dawned on me is that notch in that center back seam is way low. I can still let out fabric in the top half, and that's where she needs the extra room. So boom, that's what we're going to do. So disconnect waistband, take out previous stitching down almost to where the seam allowance is cut, redraw new seam, sew new seam, except for when I sew the top part where the zipper is going to be, I set my sewing machine to a basting stitch. Iron that flat, sew my zipper in almost all the way to the top. I can't sew past, or I find it really difficult to sew past where the zipper slide is. So I stop just short of that. Slide in most of it, the bottom chunk. Take out my basting stitching, move the zipper slide down, finish sewing the zipper in, and then reattach the waistband. And I've got just enough room for a little bit of overlap, and then I can reattach my hook and eye. And it's all done. She ended up with a little more extra room at the waist, and she's got about an inch more through the hip and butt area, which should be just enough that fits just perfect. All right, that's the latest and greatest from my sewing room. Have a great day, stay creative, and keep sewing.